You got to pick a number.
How about 91?
Be not anxious about what you have, but about who you are. So don't worry about what you have, but worry about who you are. Hello, welcome to Campus Conversations. Christian Murphy here. And on today's show, we have Jen Rooney with us. Jen is the Director of the Office of Career Preparation and Professional Development. Jen, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Excited to have you here because you offer a really unique perspective to the St. Joseph's community in that you are a parent, you are also an educator. You kind of are covering a lot of different areas during this experience. You're a parent of young children in elementary school, so you're going through this process. And I really wanted to hear from you about what that's like. How are you doing?
I first want to thank my husband so much. The fact that he's home right now really makes this a lot easier for everyone. It's more distance learning where, my son is in second grade and my daughter is in pre-K. And, we're trying to make sure that they don't fall behind so much. And so it's a Google Classroom filled with math assignments and English assignments and daily reading and journal writing. And plus on top of that, there's, speech and occupational therapy. And we're kind of going through the waters of all these different technologies, whether it's Google Hangout or Zoom. And then couple that as I'm trying to work with trying to support them. So this is definitely uncharted territory. And I feel for everyone out there who has kids who are in school, trying to make sure that we don't want them to fall behind, but we want them to know that we absolutely love them and that we're their parents. We're not their, teachers in the classroom. We're their parents, and we just want to make sure that they know how much we love them and that we're here for them.
It must be so tough to manage all of those different elements and get the job done, while also, like you said, being the parent and us and realizing, hey, I have another role too that's really important. One of the things we were talking about before we went on live here was during this time, how important it is to communicate. So how are you finding that with your family and your loved ones?
Well, I will say this. My kids, although they're young, they have big feelings. And unlike us who can, really verbalize what we're feeling and why we're feeling that way, they struggle with that. So I think one of the things that we're really focusing on with them, we do like a morning message with them where we review like the day and the weather and what we're going to do that day. If it's bad weather like today, we're going to be doing yoga in the living room. But we do try to have like an inspirational message, and we really try to focus on them to communicate with us and let them know what their feelings are. And so what we try to do is we try to pick a feeling per week, and we try to really talk about, well, what is that feeling? There's all these different like brain pop videos so you can like learn about what all these feelings are. Yeah. But we really need to make sure that they're telling us what they're feeling, because we're finding that, someone will break down crying over the littlest thing, or someone will get angry over something. And it's like, well, they're not really angry or they're not really crying over this, but they're feeling something. And how can we support them? Because again, we're their parents, and this is all uncharted territory with everything that's going on, that we just really need to make sure that they know that we're here. And the most important thing that you can do is just tell us how you feel.
You're so right in saying that this is uncharted territory. And once we admit that and move on from there, we're in a better place. Trying to act like we can figure this out. We can't figure this out. We're managing. It's a management game right now. On a lighter side here, what is your favorite subject that you're doing with your children? And what is your least favorite subject?
My favorite subject with my kids is reading. We love reading. Reading is really big in our house. My least favorite subject is math. I want to take Common Core like every other parent, and I want to go back in time and say, can we just kind of go with like how we used to do it? Right. It's very confusing. One of my kids' favorite books, and I actually have it here. It's actually a really cute story. It's called The Prince and the Witch and the Thief and the Bears.
Okay.
It is absolutely adorable. And it's about a dad, his son wants him to read a book at night, but he wants him to make up the story. So he has to make up the story, and during it, the kid's like interjecting, well, what kind of mountain is it? It's Mount Broccoli, because he's like, I don't like broccoli. He's like, okay, we'll make it Mount Broccoli. And the prince is going to save the princess. Well, why does the prince have to save the princess? Why can't the princess save the prince?
It's awesome.
And it just has some like really, really cute elements, and how it's read is just, it keeps them captivating. And it's a long book for them, but they'll sit through it and they'll love it.
I love how you're advocating for this book in such a beautiful, innocent way that like shows that you're just invested. With regards to your kids too, something else that I'm thinking about is how this moment, this whole coronavirus pandemic it's not shaping, it is a huge moment in our history. And we always think about in our personal life, what was a moment in our history. My dad would always tell me stories about how he remembered when JFK was shot. I have vivid memories of 9/11, and a lot of my family are first responders, and family members of mine were missing, and all these things. And like, that's a huge part of my story, right? And how is this becoming part of your children's story? And what are you doing to kind of share in that without sharing too much and making sure that they feel safe still?
It's been tough. My kids, when they sit there and they ask for play dates, and you have to say no. Or, my kids are very lucky where they actually have all four of their grandparents, which I didn't have at my daughter's age. And my kids actually have a great grandparent. My grandmother is still with us. They're very fortunate to have this older family that, was really sad that they didn't get the chance to see them. Easter was spent like social distancing, driving to the house in the car, saying hello through the window. But in order to try to make this positive and to try to look at some of my family members who are older, what we have done is we have tried to make them either write a letter or like color a picture and sign their name, and we've been sending it off. I remember when I was younger, my grandmother, who is still around at 91, her and my grandfather used to tell me stories about the Great Depression, and how my grandfather said, he was given like 25 cents a week, and that he had to use in order to ride the subway to school or to work, and then he had to use that for lunch. And just hearing that now, like a quarter he was given, I'm like, I can't imagine that. But in trying to make this such a better experience, my kids know, that there's the virus. They know that people are getting sick from it. We have not shared the extent of it, but we had shared the importance of washing your hands and, coughing into your elbow, and, just really knowing that you just got to really take good care of yourself, which we have to do all the time. Yes. We really try to make it a point of really connecting with our family more. So having FaceTime with family, singing birthdays to people over FaceTime, doing recorded messages, making signs, making cards, doing a lot of arts and crafts type stuff that really gets them involved in something. It works on their fine motor skills, but it also gets them to be creative and also express themselves, because they'll talk a lot as they're doing these activities about, I really miss Nan Nan, or I really miss Nan and Pa, I really miss Grandma and Grandpa. I wish we could see them. And it's like, yeah, we'll see them very soon. We're just trying to keep everyone healthy and safe, but they're going to love this. They're going to love that you're taking the time to do this for them.
That's all you can do sometimes, just be there for someone. It sounds like you're doing a great job with that, with your children. A little game here, game I'm going to throw on you here. We did this with Hugo's episode, and it was a lot of fun, was this idea of the desert island items, desert island treasures.
God.
Yeah. So I'll two or three. What are, because I think and this came from a conversation I had with Hugo about how Nina and we just moved and we were packing all these things up and stuff. And the idea of like, what do we treasure in a moment like this? It's not what we thought it would be. It's other things. So, what are some of those things that you're going to that desert island? What are you bringing?
Oh God. That's a really tough question. Only 2 items I can bring to a treasure island.
3. You can bring 3.
I can bring 3. Okay. I I have to bring coffee. I have to tell you,
Okay.
I'm not going to function without it. I
Yeah.
don't know how I'll make it on the island. I need coffee to come with me to the
Mhm.
desert island. I need lots of pictures. I'm a picture person. I think that was very true. And I need all my pictures of everybody with me. I think that's really, really key and important for me. And if I had to pick one other thing, I would either pick a journal to write down and to write my feelings down in, or to express my feelings, or to draw in. Drawing and coloring is also something I would bring in. So I think those are the three things I would bring with me.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect three. What any final messages or words of affirmation that you wish to offer to the viewers here?
I think I started off 2020 not with a resolution, but with three things that I wanted to keep in mind. Things I started before 2020, but things I really wanted to focus on this year. It was love, health, and purpose. And if there's anything that I can give, any word of advice I can give to anybody, is to make sure that you're communicating with your loved ones. Let them know how you're feeling. Let them know what's going on. Now's not a time to be quiet or shy. Now is the time to reach out to people. Let them know that you care about them. Let them know that you love them, and just be present. Be present in the moment.
Well, awesome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking the time to chat. I think the words that you have here will really resonate, especially with our students and our faculty and staff who are parents who are going through this from a very different angle. I think that's really, I really appreciate what you had to share. So thanks again. Good to see you, Jen. Stay healthy. And we'll
You
talk
too.
soon.
And if anything else for the college students, remember, it doesn't matter how old you are. You're still, you still have parents and you still have people who love you. Always communicate with them. Always communicate with us here at the college. We are all in this together, and, we'll get through it.
Awesome. Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, Christian.